Hey folks, welcome to week 6. Today we're going to talk about family stability. You know, for most of American history, the process of getting married kind of worked like this. There was courtship that led to marriage, which led to cohabitation, which led to sex, which led to children. But today, if there's marriage at all, it's happening at the very end of this process. And studies show that about 90% of people are having sex before marriage. It also, 4 out of 10 kids are born to unwed parents, and most couples are living together before they get married. And this idea that marriage is a permanent contractual obligation that's designed for mutual love and procreation and for mutual support has given way to this idea that marriage is a sexual contract that is designed for the personal gratification of the parties. And I think it's likely that this change in philosophy about marriage is responsible for some more alarming data. Back in 1960, about 72% of adults were married. And this has given way to some new data. In 2008, about 50% of adults were married. So, then, how should Christians think rightly about marriage? We understand, the first thing is that we need to understand that marriage is given as a gift to the entirety of society. That marriage is this thing, it's a character building partnership and promise between the male and the woman. In particular, marriage is this perfect incubator where children are raised in the most nurturing and possible relationship for raising kids. And the other thing is that the sequence is really important, that marriage comes before cohabitation, and then sexual relations, and then children, that the order matters to God. But you know what? Marriage is more important than all of that, because what marriage signifies at its heart is the relationship between Christ and the church. In fact, marriage as a symbol of the gospel. I kind of like the way Ephesians 5:25 talks about it. It says that husbands should love their wives just as Christ loved the church. And how did Christ love the church? He gave his life for the church. I remember being a grad student at Northwestern, and a bunch of us were finishing our MBAs, and we were having a party. And a young woman asked me, she knew I was married, she said, what do Christians think about marriage? So I took her to Ephesians 5:21 through 33, and I got to explaining that she should find a husband that loves her the way Christ loved the church, that would give his life for the benefit of her. And I could see in her mind was turning over, and there was almost tears forming. And she was saying, I need to find a husband that would love me like that. And so that's the standard for love and sacrifice in Christ, that God gave up his glory. He was equal with the Father, but gave up his glory for the church. And so it is with us that we need to understand that our unity as married couples comes when we divest ourselves for the benefit of the other. I love salsa and chips. This is my favorite snack. Now, as these actions towards the church, it's the key to understanding marriage, and it's the key to having a successful marriage. Each spouse endeavors to do for their spouse what Christ did for them, and that they find their mutual satisfaction. They find real joy in giving themselves for the other person. They adopt the mindset that the church has towards Christ and that Christ has towards the church. In fact, it's this mindset, is this self-sacrificial, loving mindset that is what makes strong marriages and strong families. Now, perhaps this kind of behavior is strange. The idea that I'm going to find my joy by giving my life away, right? Well, then strange is just how it has to be. Because when it comes to marriages and family, from a Christian perspective, we need to keep Christianity strange. If you were here, you could have some chips with me. Thanks, that was our talk about family stability. That's good stuff.